Decades ago, the world was breathing in a strange silence. It was the kind of silence that comes just before you hear the sound of fear, the silence of the Cold War. Today we will tell the story of the instruments of war hiding behind that silence, but first, a weapon so terrifying that even asleep beneath the earth it could erase an entire city, the ICBM. In those letters, ICBM, a monstrous example of horror is hidden, the intercontinental ballistic missile. In the 1950s, when the United States and the Soviet Union built towering weapons against each other, these missiles became the greatest symbol of fear. Their size, their speed, and the warheads concealed within them were facts that reshaped global politics. The very idea was so frightening that a single launch could wipe a major city from the map. This was not mere rhetoric or wartime bravado, it was a real technical possibility. The power of the ICBM was not only in the explosion, it was also a psychological weapon. Knowing that an enemy possessed the ability to strike back kept nations restrained. It was this balance of fear, the deterrence, that maintained the uneasy order of the world. But there are stories hidden behind it all. Secret bases, missiles sleeping in silos, machines buried in the darkness of night, and lives spent on endless maintenance that never truly ends. Over time ICBMs became more complex and more effective. They grew more accurate, faster, and harder to detect. Mobile launchers, submarine launch systems, and advanced guidance made them even more dangerous. Yet the fundamental question remains, is a machine that can rise from beneath the earth and reach into space a guarantee of peace, or an everlasting threat used to bully others? That question still hangs in the air today. Now we turn our eyes to the sky, to an aircraft that became both silence and sight above enemy territory, the U-2 spy plane. In the 1950s, this aircraft was so special that it redefined the very idea of near-space flight. The remarkable thing about the U-2 was its extraordinary operational ceiling. It flew so high that the Earth appeared curved beneath it, and radar systems often failed to detect it. Its cameras and sensors captured images of enemy installations, revealing truths that the world was never meant to see. But the story of the U-2 was not one of perfect success. In 1960, when a U-2 was shot down over Soviet airspace, the entire world was shaken. The capture of pilot Francis Gary Powers turned the incident into an international diplomatic crisis. That event proved one undeniable fact: espionage is never completely invisible, the risk is always present. And yet, what's truly fascinating is that the U-2's engineering was so solid, so far ahead of its time, that even decades later it remained in service, modernized with advanced equipment, still flying in a world it was originally built to spy upon. That endurance alone tells us something remarkable. A brilliant idea and a perfect design can live far longer than anyone expects. The U-2's value went far beyond photography. It provided critical intelligence that shaped political decisions and altered the course of history. Before satellites took over, the U-2 was the eye in the sky, the watcher that informed leaders of what their enemies truly possessed. Yet, its legacy also carries a warning. In the world of espionage, knowledge always comes with danger, and one wrong step can change everything. Now we descend into the depths, the dark, endless waters where a different kind of fear lives, the nuclear submarine. These are the silent fortresses that hide beneath the surface, waiting quietly, capable of unleashing devastation if ever called upon. Submarines are terrifying not just because of their firepower, but because of their invisibility. They are almost impossible to detect, and they can remain hidden for months beneath the waves. During the Cold War, nuclear submarines became the new equalizer. They roamed the oceans armed with missiles and torpedoes, capable of striking anywhere in the world without warning. Yet, the stories inside those submarines also reveal the fragility of human technology. A failed reactor, a technical malfunction, or even a small mistake could endanger an entire crew. There are true accounts of submariners who risked their lives to prevent nuclear disasters, moments where humanity came dangerously close to catastrophe, only to be saved by courage and sheer luck. The most haunting power of a submarine lies in its constant, unseen presence. It's there, but you don't know where. That very uncertainty makes it incredibly dangerous, especially in times of political tension or misunderstanding. In any armed conflict, the actions of a single submarine can alter the balance of power in an instant. Even today, the world's most advanced submarines continue to patrol the oceans, silent, watchful, and ever ready. They are both guardians and threats, symbols of peace maintained through fear, and reminders that beneath the calm surface of the sea, unimaginable power still lurks. Finally, We turn to the strategic bombers, the mighty giants that once ruled the skies with their ominous presence. Their purpose was simple yet terrifying: to reach deep into enemy territory and deliver destruction on a massive scale. In the 1950s and 60s, aircraft like the B-52 and others like it were not just machines of war, they were symbols of psychological and practical power. These bombers could strike distant targets, influence political decisions, and play a key role in maintaining the fragile balance of global power. The lifespan of these bombers was astonishing. Some models served for decades, and even today, when modernized, they remain effective. The threat hidden beneath their bomb bays forced world leaders to think carefully about when, and how, to use power. Strategic bombers also served another purpose: as a show of force. Sometimes, the mere act of flying these aircraft was enough to send a message, a reminder that power existed, and that reminder alone prevented wars more than once. All these machines, the ICBM, the U-2 spy plane, the nuclear submarine, and the strategic bomber, were different in form, but united by a single philosophy: the balance of power. This philosophy gave the world a strange kind of peace, a peace hanging by the thinnest thread. And that fragile truth still teaches us something today: no matter how advanced technology becomes, it is never truly safe without human wisdom and restraint. Today, we live in a new age. Technology has changed, names have changed, and strategies have evolved, but the forces that oppose each other remain the same. Beneath the earth, under the seas, and high above the skies, those instruments of power still exist, now more refined, more alert, and far more hidden. AutoReviews reminds you that these are not just stories of the past, they are the realities of today. Every machine, every old jet, every submarine, and every bomber carries a lesson: the use and balance of power can decide the fate of humanity. We may see them as pieces of history or technology, but behind them are stories of people, of courage, and of sacrifice. These silent yet dangerous shadows, born in the Cold War, still linger around us. And the question remains: can we create a better balance? Or will we continue to live under the shadow of fear that built our peace?